What have I learned about technologies from the process of constructing this product? Well, prior experience, the most really tricky thing for me was learning how to use a Mac because they are a pain to learn. Like I'm a Windows user and I really dislike using any form of Apple computer just generally because they're more complicated than they really need to be. Though they did prove efficient when I did learn to give me the software I needed to enable me to complete my task. So I gained a lot from it. I got put out of my comfort zone, technological wise, and I had to adapt quickly to basically fulfill my role within the team. And that, I think, overall, yeah, I think I did that quite well. But obviously, there's always room to improve, learn more things about Macs because there's a lot to them, and they're not something I'd particularly like to use. But obviously, I had to, I reckon, demonstrating my skills was basically put on the test, and yeah, the outcome was good. Um, I basically learned how media companies produce final products, so using different software, um, also communicating, so using email, using stuff that everyday things we do, so like texting and stuff like that. So working within the team, we had to communicate. So even if that was an email, basically organising where to do whatever. So say we relied on basic communication outside of school through mobile phone, to basically organise what's happening and when it's happening. And we also use social networking site to communicate as well, share pictures, files and stuff like that. So yeah, without that we would have pretty much been stuffed, and the time we would have been more against time, to be honest, because of the fact that we couldn't communicate outside of school. We didn't know what was going on, and basically that could have really proved disastrous for us. But obviously we managed to do that. We developed communication skill at a great standard, and that's all due to technology, mobile phones, stuff that pretty much everyday people have. So not so much develop our skills, but it did, well, with technology, but it did develop our own communication skills as a team. What did provide and prove great social skills, and basically helped us bond and get the work done. Well, as the editor, I had to use programs like Final Cut. What I have no experience on. I normally use Premiere and iMovie on an iPod Touch, really. So using the Mac to actually use a what's the word for it? A Mac operating system program was really it wasn't really enjoyable to learn, but when it was quite complicated, again out of my comfort zone to learn, and yeah, I think I got to cope with it gradually. Used Photoshop, though I was quite familiar with that, but that was due to just making a logo. Now, blogging wise, I'd say Wix and Presby I've never used before, and before that I had no clue about them, no knowledge on these websites. Since starting the media course, we had to use them. I found it tricky at first, and I got quite good with it quite quickly, and that developed my own skills even more with what we have around us on the internet. I really did open the options on what I can use to better my final products and all my research and analysis and stuff like that. Now, I started using GoAnimate for one of my evaluations. Never used that before. That proved that was quite enjoyable to do. I found it quite funny, and it was really enjoyable to use. And yeah, working a camera, I didn't get close to that. I found that too complicated. But luckily, one of the members in our team has great experience with cameras, so we worked our way around that. But did teach me one thing or two. So like zooming in, changing lenses, focusing, so automatic focus, and then manually focusing. What I couldn't do, but I do know how to do it now. And really simply, basically how to record. Stupid enough, but I had no clue before, but now I do. Overall, I reckon I've learnt quite a lot in the last few months with the stuff we had around us to basically allow us to do our final piece, to better our skills and really develop ourselves as students, and overall operate in the same way as a major company. We can kind of gather the stress and the amount of time and effort they put in. So the experience was fun, but very daunting in the way we had to get pressured into going out of our comfort zone. But without that risk, we really couldn't achieve such a, well, as good as final piece.